Hello, world. I'm Dallas,
I'm Jesse.
I'm Colin.
and we're the Reshoots. This is our Dark Tower spoiler review. We're joined today by our guest, my fiance, Kayla.
Hi.
Hi, my fiance Kayla.
That's my full name.
Cool.
You can just call me Kayla though.
That's what we call her for short.
That's right.
Okay, so ostensibly this movie is about a guy named Roland who is the last of a secret order called the Gunslingers who protect the titular Dark Tower
Huh.
because if the tower falls, evil will be able to enter the universe. But we get all this from the perspective of this kid named Jake who lives in New York and gets magically transported to the world in which the Dark Tower is and accompanies Roland on his journey to save the Dark Tower from the villain, who is just called the Man in Black, who wants to bring the tower down in order to let evil in the universe. And, yeah, it's basically just Roland versus the Man in Black, and also Jake is there.
Yeah.
Man in Black had a name.
Yeah,
His name was Walter.
Walter.
Yes.
Walter.
But I'm not going to call him
Walter.
Walter.
We should call him
because-
Walter.
That's
name.
his name. That's what his mom.
Yeah, but the
named
Man in
him.
Black is a much cooler name, Kayla. But my problem with this movie was how it didn't do enough to suggest what's next.
I feel like that's most of my problem with this movie is talking about any aspect of the movie. I feel like it didn't do enough. Whatever it was trying to do, it didn't quite do it enough.
Well, did Roland do anything for you? Him at least? He's supposed to be the
He
main
was
dude?
fine based solely on the fact that he's played by Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was kind of blank and emotionless, and Idris Elba does that well, so it worked as well as it could
I
have.
liked him a lot. But I think I liked his reaction to Earth
Sure.
a lot. The scene where he comes in and he goes to the hospital, all of that scene I loved because it felt
Yeah.
like what I wanted to get from Diana leaving Themyscira and going with Chris Pine. I don't know why I didn't say Steve Trevor. Going with Steve
Going
Trevor
with Chris
to,
Pine.
Man's Road or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And when I watched that, I was like, this isn't exactly what I wanted because Roland doesn't ask dumb questions. He goes in and he's like, who is this person? What do they do? What is this?
He didn't really ask any questions. He just kind of assumed.
Well, he's like, yeah, what is this? It's like vitamins and painkillers. Like, you wouldn't know what that is. Yeah, he
Sure.
takes them all at once. He doesn't ask, like, what's marriage or anything silly like that.
Hot dog thing was funny.
The hot dog, yeah, like,
I will
what
say
is this? He said it's a hot dog. He's like, you guys are savages. What kind of dog is this? And it's like, this
What
is the kind
breed?
of, like, fish out of
Breed.
water scene that I like. This is what I want.
I will say that the comedy in this movie worked.
It did.
Like 99% of the time they were trying to be funny, they were funny. Problem is, I felt like times when they weren't trying to be funny, they were still funny.
There were some times when it's like, this is sillier than it needs to be.
What
It was
times?
not supposed to be silly.
I just feel like a lot
Anytime
of...
Matthew McConaughey showed
Yeah,
up.
a lot of the Man in Black scenes.
See, I disagree. Mainly because my favorite type of villain is the funny villain. The one who, like, while everybody's screaming, going crazy, is just chilling, cracking jokes, doing his or her own thing because what are you going to do about it? Scream louder? You know? Like, when he was just walking down the street, minding his own business, had nothing to do with anybody else. He walks by and sees a mother and with her daughter. Daughter super happy telling a story. Just says hate to the kid. And instantly you know, we don't even see the scene. You know that kid is going to do something to her mom, possibly kill her. Who knows? Like, that
Gonna
type
hate
of
her.
villain is the type that you have to be more afraid of than the blustery one who you can tell what they're going to do.
But see, I feel like that's a problem. You're describing him as a funny villain. I don't think they wanted him to be a funny villain. I think we came out of the movie thinking he was a funny villain. I don't think that's what they
I
were going for.
disagree. They had him doing all sorts of stuff. He was
Like
always...
that scene with the girl, that's a dark moment. That's not played for laughs.
Are you sure?
I don't think
I think
that's-
that you're speaking a
I
lot
don't think
for
that's
the
supposed to be
writer.
as serious as you think it is.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's just a girl eating ice cream and then she just glares at her mom. Like, that's not a dark moment. A dark moment is when he burns Jake's mom alive.
Yeah. Nobody
That's
laughed
a
at
dark
that
moment.
part.
But, like, he's just telling a girl, hey, hate your mom. Like,
Oh, he killed the mom.
yeah, sorry.
He did kill
Jake's
the
mom
mom.
dies.
He burned her alive.
Spoiler alert.
She did not die well.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he was supposed to be like the embodiment of all evil and darkness in the universe.
I
and I'm like,
disagree because even in the scene when we find that Jake's mom is dead, we see a note left from him with a smiley face on it. Like, he's been nothing but funny. Even when he's talking
that, I
to
don't think that was
Roland.
very funny.
Yeah, I
He
think...
left a note on his mom's ashes.
I think...
I kind of laughed.
I think
to
Walter
be honest. Like, this
feels like
prick
he's being
left
funny.
this-
But I think that scene was just supposed to be horrifying, which
Yeah.
it was, because... What do you say, like... hello there or something like
Yeah,
that.
hello there,
hello
and his
there.
smiley face.
Something
Which
like
was-
that.
Which even then that works because that's a very menacing thing to do, and like I felt that.
I think he was funny is not the word I would use, but like extra or like dramatic. Like yeah,
Yeah.
he's not gonna show up, but he will project himself via a crystal ball to tell you how he feels. Like he could show up, he could do, but he's not. You're not worth it. You know, I'm gonna just project my image because I can still laugh at you, and I don't have to get up from my chair. To me, I just the whole sense I got from him was that he was confident in everything that he did. And so he could make jokes. He could be funny because, well, I'm going to win eventually. It doesn't matter what you do. And I like that. I
Yeah.
like villains who, like, don't even really have to plan because things will work out for me because I know that they will. I like that a lot. And so that worked really well for me.
Roland, yeah.
Roland,
started with Roland.
I really dug his outfit. I want to be him
That
for
was a cool little
Halloween.
jacket he had.
Every time he flung?
Flung?
Every time he tossed that jacket back, I was with it. And finding out that his weapons are made from Excalibur's sword was
Weird.
actually pretty interesting to me. Oh,
I have
Yeah.
a lot of feelings about.
you have
So
your
random.
feelings over there because I liked it, sir.
I thought it was nice. It was a nice little interesting
Yeah,
thing.
and
Also
that
in the
he's
book.
a relative of Arthur.
Yeah, he's a descendant of King Arthur, which is cool.
It's pretty dope. Black man is descendant of the king. I'm
Arthur.
with it.
Of Veld or something?
Of
I don't know what
Veld?
they call him.
House
Devel.
L. Colin, you said you had feelings. Express those feelings now.
Well,
Well,
feelings
that's
be like-
a separate topic.
Express
As far
yourself.
as Roland goes, I think I like him in theory, but I want to know more about him. Like, he's the last of the gunslingers. What does that mean? Does he feel the weight of that? Did he know a lot of gunslingers? Did they hang out ever? Or was it just his dad? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot about him that I don't know, and that this movie obviously wasn't meant to tell me, but I don't know, I feel like I got a surface level understanding of who the character is and not enough.
I think it gives us the fact that
Really?
he feels the weight of it because when they're sitting at the table, I think he says, "Kid, there are no gunslingers anymore. Like that's not what I am." And when the scientist from Age of Ultron does her little like shine on him, she's like, "This man was a gunslinger. He's not anymore. He feels rada."
Yeah.
So like they give you
Yeah,
all
they
of
were
the
just told about him.
yeah, like they tell
I
us
mean,
what
that's
we
what
need.
was the
They tell us what
complaint.
Colin is asking us. Like, yes, he feels the weight of it. He feels like that's not what he is
But
anymore.
again,
Like,
that's
that was
what,
too much
to
for
me,
him.
I count that as another negative. The only character we got of him was what was explained to us by other people.
I disagree completely. His,
never got immersed
his
in his
entire, from when we see him to not, it's obvious that this is a character that, at the very least, is feeling something strong. Like, he's introduced to this boy who is lost in the desert, and his first interest to the boy was a picture of Walter's keep. And then after that, we only get him saying how he's going to kill Walter, and that's all he's doing, blah, blah, blah. And
he
then
was
we
one
find out, and how we're introduced to him is him watching his dad die by Walter's hand. Like, we've seen nothing but how he's broken by what Walter's done and is hell-bent on killing him because of it.
I don't feel like he wasn't explained. I just feel like we never got immersed in his character. He was one note. I think he summed it up great when he said, "I liked his jacket." That's pretty much everything really about his character. And he's played by Idris Elba, who's great in pretty much everything.
I like that they didn't spoon-feed me certain bits. Like, we never really found out what his power levels were. And I actually like that about this. Like, that he shows that he has different powers just by surviving certain scenes. And by saying, like, I've lived a long time and showing how he's lived a long time. But I like that he's just that hero, like that shining knight who, like, becomes who he needs to be to save the day. And then whisks the kid under his wing when he has nothing else and goes on his adventure.
See, I feel like that is a big thing. We just get the biggest part of his personality, the base part. And I also didn't like the fact that his powers were never explained. Because I feel like throughout the entire movie, we get the impression that he's basically a normal person with really good aim.
That's what I thought.
And then the last 10
yeah.
minutes of the movie, suddenly he's getting thrown through brick walls and getting run over by cars and getting up without a scratch. I'm like,
that was a bit weird
When
to me
did
because
that
I was
happen?
like, wait, are you a superhero?
yeah, he
Because, like-
became a superhero, but only in the last 10 minutes of the
Because
movie.
I was like, gunslinger, like, I just thought, he's Deadshot, basically.
Right.
Like, he has really good aim, he's really good with
Mhm.
guns. And he's great with those guns. Like,
Sure.
one of the scenes when he flips the thing, just rotates
And he
the
pours
gun,
all the
just
bullets in,
pours
that was
the-
cool.
I was like, yes.
Had a rubber
And
thumb.
how he somehow loaded his guns with his, like, bullet belt, which I
Which
never
doesn't
understood
make
how
any
he did it. I
sense.
was like, that looks cool. I don't know how you're doing it, but
Same thing when he
everything
throws the
was
bullets in the air and then
And
he
catches
slams
it.
it together. That also doesn't make sense how
It
the bullets
doesn't.
are going through the gun.
It
But
was
okay.
I was
beautiful.
like, whatever.
It didn't need
That
to.
shouldn't be as great as it is, but I loved it. But yeah, the little pouring the bullets thing was awesome. But yeah, him getting thrown through everything by Walter at the end
Yeah.
was a
And
little.
it was like-
It's because he remembered the face of his father, Dallas.
that also didn't make any sense. That little speech he gave.
I was
He
kind
who
of.
shoots with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. I'm
I
like,
was kind of wondering where the mom was.
It's a
where's the logic in that?
it's a figurative thing.
Sure.
I guess.
I think to them, forgetting the face of your father means
Forgetting yourself.
Sure.
something important.
Again, my number one point with this movie is like, this looks cool, this sounds cool, good enough, we don't need to think about it too much. It's a good enough.
Well, the character that
Every
made me
aspect
think
of
the
it.
most, I think, is the boy,
Jake?
Jake.
Yeah.
I like Jake.
Because
I like
we're
Jake.
kind of introduced with Jake, and man, you really feel for the kid. Like, you find out shortly into meeting him that he's lost his father at some point in the past. However, you see that there's a man in the house. So automatically you see, like, oh, stepfather territory. It's obvious that he's having issues because the first sequence that we see is the kids getting their heads pretty much blown up to strike at the tower. But after we see the first strike and we see the rumbling and all that, Jake wakes up. And we see that he was connected to the dream and that he dreamt it. And, you know, mom comes in, did you dream it again? Like, oh, this kid has issues right now.
See, now Jake, though, I felt like was a good character. I feel like we got
was
to
great.
know him, we got to understand him in a way we didn't
Yeah.
get to understand all the other characters. And that's not just because he had more screen time than anyone else. Because from that opening scene where he wakes up in the middle of the night, he looks out the window, his mom walks into the room, his first words are you okay? And then she just sees something in his face, and so do we, the audience, like, something's wrong and it's not the earthquake. And
Yeah.
then she asks him, like, nightmares again? No, I'm good. And
And
you
he
know
says
that
no.
you know that that's a bold-faced lie when he says no.
Mhm.
I'm like, that tells you so much about his character without having a psychic read his mind and explain it all to me. But you feel it, even if you don't, at that point, really understand what's going on with him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about with Idris Elba, with Walter. You never got to feel them in any way.
Right, but I think that was an issue you had with
I
Idris's
didn't.
performance because I didn't have that issue. I did feel it with
Okay.
I
Roland.
felt it.
And Walter, you know, I felt like he's evil, but
His
Yeah,
daddy
he's
I was gonna
dad.
talk
He was
more
like
about
the generic cartoon mustache twirling villain. That's what.
he's walking
Matthew
through with his
McConaughey-
black jacket.
Yeah, if he had had a
Ah,
mustache, he'd be doing that the whole time.
I want the
Yeah.
kids.
Jake was interesting.
He reminded me of like classic like kids in movies, like the E.T. kid or the more recently the Stranger Things kids. Like he felt like one of those, you know. Most Stephen King adaptations will have references to other Stephen King stuff.
You
Speaking of
chastised
Stephen
mine.
King Easter eggs, what did you guys think about the Stephen King Easter eggs?
So I didn't see.
That's just
a lot.
That's my transition.
Okay.
Canceled yours to have mine.
Which Stephen King Easter egg?
So there's a few. The first scene in the movie, when they're showing all the kids in whatever his world is called, they pan over all these kids, and there's these two little girls playing patty cake, and they're saying, "Come play with us,"
Come
so
play
it's-
with us, Colin.
just like that. They don't say Colin.
I assume that's a reference to The Shining?
Yes,
It
it's
is.
the two little creepy girls in the hallway, which I was like, just confused. Like, is this the what?
We also saw there was a picture of the Overlook Hotel in the shrink's office.
I missed that, but
Yeah,
I heard about
I missed
it.
the girls, so we're good.
Yeah,
We're
we
even.
both missed one.
He also has Christine as a toy. Main dude Jake.
Oh, his car.
Yeah, he's playing with Christine
That's
as a little
dope.
toy car. What
Christine
else?
is
do
a
we
car that kills people.
Dope.
Did me saw Pennywise.
Well, it was big
You saw
and
that?
obvious.
Dark, I
When they
didn't
get
see
to
it.
the
Yeah.
theme park, there's a big sign that
This
says
is Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Final thoughts, guys. Let's wrap it up. Dallas, I'm making eye contact with you. You start.
All right, he's making eye contact with me. I liked it. Stop it. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was short and sweet.
I thought the same thing. I think whenever I see a movie or whatever where I didn't read the source material and that I enjoyed it.
I still not happy. Not unhappy, but not happy. If anything, this movie just made me want to go pick up the books and read those. I feel like that will be a more satisfying experience. I don't know, there's just something about this movie that I feel like it wasn't well constructed. Like it didn't know what it wanted to do in terms of introducing the world. And so, I mean, it's enjoyable, it's fun, but I don't think it has any like lasting impact of like, oh man, when they announce the sequel, I'm gonna be excited.
It was fine. It was borderline. It doesn't deserve the 18-19% it has on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not that bad, but it's also not great. Pick it up on Redbox when it comes out. Enjoy yourself for an hour and a half and forget you ever watched it. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Don't
Perfectly
forget.
adequate, instantly forgettable movie. On Twitter and Instagram at the Jester 1138. Moving up in the world.
I am on Twitter at a king named Simba, all one word, no underscores, none of that, just a king named Simba.
I don't have anything.
She
Sorry.
doesn't have anything. Just
Kayla
find
is
her
a
through me.
disappointment.
Don't look for me. You won't find me.
You can
Get it up. Spit it up. Man.
you can find me on Twitter. You done?
Yeah, we stopped.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
Yay! At the Reshoots on everything.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Let's get me made the Snapchat yet.
She probably will soon.
By the time
By the time this video comes out, we'll have
Yeah,
Snapchat.
Snapchat. Tinder. Why not?
Maybe.
See what you find.
Dude, the
All right, guys.
Ask them a question.
Have you seen The Dark Tower? What did you think about it?
Oh, what
Comment
did you
below. Like, subscribe. Hit the stupid little notification bell.
It's not stupid. You show YouTube some respect.
Tell us
It's
how
kinda stupid.
wrong Jesse is in the comments,
Yes.
please. 'Cause
Tell us if you
he
disagree.
thinks he's not
with Jesse.
wrong.
Kayla likes everything.
Anyway,
Bye.
Have fun out there.
Have fun out there
have fun out there.
with more fun movies. We need to have like a special effect for Duck McGuck every
You
time his
really
pops up.
don't.
We
It's
do.
like sparkles and fireworks coming out behind it.
Guys,
It's not quite an ice cold Coca-Cola,
Oh God.
but it's also not like really bad warm Coca-Cola either. This is like room temperature water. It's there. It's fine.
You didn't want to stick with
Wait,
Coke?
so your scales are cold and warm Coca-Cola, and somewhere in the middle is water.
It's
What?
fine.
Why not?
Good
Why
enough.
not room temperature Coke?
No, because that's terrible. Because room temperature Coke is bad.
No, keep it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Room temperature Coke is no
That's our
good.
scale now. Cold Coke, warm Coke, water's in the middle.
I like water.
Right.
I like bread.
like, I thought you were going to do, like,
Not
Coca-Cola, Pepsi.
Tea?
No, because I don't want to
Pepsi.
alienate the
But
Pepsi
you
fans.
went nowhere
You know, I don't
with
want to alienate half our audience. So
Okay,
no.
keep
It's just,
going.
yeah.
Close this out.
Anyway.
It's like 4
Anyways,